Hey friends, welcome back to my adventure with turntables. Alright, so today we are looking at a topic that is all over just about every forum out there, and that is the Tonearm lift. I don't know what you call it, the lift piston. So this is the piston. And then this is the cylinder over here. So on this one, this is a oh gosh, what is this one? This one is a Sharp, I believe. No, it's a Sanyo TP1020, and this one here. Don't do that. That's just mean. There, cartridge not on there, so don't worry. It didn't hurt anything. No cartridges were hurt during the filming of this episode. Okay, so what we have here is the piston, and there's the cylinder. The cylinder is just all the way through, bored all the way through, so it's just going to go, if I drop this through, it's just going to like drop to the floor. Normally, when you get one of these, they work just fine. When you lower the Tonearm, let's turn this dude over so I can kind of show you what's going on here. So when you raise and lower the Tonearm, come on, let's not be mean. So when you raise and lower the Tonearm, this just raises and lowers, right? And then when you go to hit it lower, it gradually comes down. Well, if it drops like a rock, that's because your dampening fluid has aged, leaked out, or done whatever. It doesn't really leak out. So you'll see that since this is a drop through, it's like a smooth piston. It's just a hole, okay? And then this is in here, and it has a couple of grooves in it. These grooves are basically just to hold extra lubricant. It is a lubricant, but it's like, okay, this is what you're after. It's not, it's Lucas oil. It is, so it's a lubricant. It's a lubricant, but it's so thick. It's like 5,000 CTS. 500,000, not 5,000. I apologize. 500,000. So, like, if I open this up and like this stuff isn't going anywhere, you see, it didn't even get a bubble. It is just thick. And if you use just normal grease, so like a temptation would be to go out and get some of this red and tacky grease. This is great. Red and tacky is really, really good for your gears, but it is not really, really good for the Tonearm piston. Okay, so put that back there because we're not going to use that. And let's step through how you would go about this. First, you're going to have to get to it. You're not going to be able to just drip some in from the top. You could. It's not going to be very effective, though. Honestly, it's just you're going to waste more of this liquid. These are not hard to get to. This one, in fact, was ridiculously easy. This one was a little bit more difficult, and we'll go through this one here in just a second because it's actually a whole piece. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to put this one back together. Let's get some of our lubricant here, but first we want to make sure to get all the old crap off of our cylinder walls. Right, not cylinder. Cylinder, yeah, cylinder walls. That's the piston. This is the cylinder. Okay. And if I have that backwards, just put it in the comments. It's not a big deal. I don't really care. You get the point. Okay, I'm cleaning the hole out here. All right, and then here, do a little cleaning here. Now, during the pandemic, it was really hard to find rubbing alcohol, but this is a post-pandemic purchase. During the pandemic, I actually had to use fingernail polish remover to do this, and it works too. So if you have fingernail polish remover sitting around, or isopropyl alcohol, that's what you want. And basically, I want this thing so dry that it will not slip in my fingers at all. So you'll see here, this thing is like this dry, right? There's no greasiness, no greasiness. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a lower rating, and you'll see this one is still pretty tacky. It's not going anywhere. There's not a bubble or anything, or it's not even like showing a sign of moving. This 50,000 is for really, really wide gap. So depending on your piston cylinder arrangement, this one here has very little play. Now this one here has a ton of play. Like this thing actually moves back and forth. I don't think you can see that on the camera, but believe me, it has a lot of play. This for that one, this thinner one for this one. Okay, so let's put some of this on here. And the way I like to do this is I do waste a little out, but I want to Q-tip it. I really want to control how much is going to get on here. I don't want a bunch of extra around, because this stuff is just absolutely fun to clean up. All right, so now I've got my cylinder is completely coated, you'll see here, and I've got a little bit of extra left on here. Let's actually take that all the way up. Okay, so now we're going to take and put this, drop this in, and bam, whammo. You see how slow that moves? That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. All right, now the reason I put it in from below is the excess from below is not a big deal. Having the excess from above, tacky ass cleanup. That's all I gotta say. Tacky ass cleanup. Okay, so I did get some on my fingers, and this stuff is a bugger. It is like, I don't know, it's almost like a glue. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit. Hopefully you guys can still see what I'm doing here. But I have to finagle this piece back on. And let's see here, where are my, we need the roach clips for this. Where are they? Where'd you put the roach clips? There they are. Go. All right, there's a, this one has a lobe, just like most of them do, actually, so not too uncommon. And what we have to do is we have to trick it into coming back up, and now that it's got lube all over it, it's just wonderful. Okay, now we got it into a position where we can play with it a little bit easier. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so you do want to be able to work from both sides. So as you see here, I've got, I'm able to reach under it and push the dude up. All right, and since I can get to the other side, I can actually screw it in using just a little bit of pressure on this side. And, no, that's not gonna work. Okay, so. Turn, 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 turn. Very good. Turn, 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 turn. Alrighty. Okay. You'll see that this turntable does have a little bit of electronic wizardry going on in the upper left over there. I'll direct your attention away from the activity. Okay. Over there, and that is only for the speed and on off and all of those controls. You'll see that the speed adjustments are over here, and we did spray these out, so they are nice and fresh. And then of course whenever I'm in here, I don't care if the turntable is working great and fabulous and wonderful. I am still going to put, gosh darn it, lubricant all over all of the joints. Don't slop it everywhere, but I just am like, man, if I'm in here, I'm already investing the time. Just go ahead and do the deal. Okay, so let's see here, and I've already done that to this one. So we need to set this dude back here. Come on, buddy. There we go. Yeah, there you go. Okay, seated. Screw. And bam. I'm always scared to drop. Well, I'm gonna drop one of these screws, and I have, man, so many times. But fortunately, I found them all. I need one of those little magnet things that you put on your wrist. Okay, so anyways, I was pointing this all out over here because this is all just controls and speed and all of that good stuff. The actual cartridge is not going through any wizardry. You see over here, the lines go directly out, and if that didn't show up in the video, then I'm sorry. You just didn't get to see it. Your loss. Sorry. Okay, now let us move that. And we're going to put this back on, which it's not a big deal to put one of these on, right? Okay, see how we have our Tonearm over here. Now, always take your cartridge off. Always, always, always take your cartridge off. You know why? Because that's a good way to damage it if you don't take it off. Kind of obvious, right? Okay, so now on the forum, on the 1020 in particular, they said, there was one of them that said to take this out, so this piece here, and there's a little spring in there, by the way, to take this out and to drip oil into there, and they were pointing at this oil here, which is it's probably a 30 weight oil. It's not very thick. And I was like, well, that's probably not right. I haven't found a player yet that actually uses super lightweight oil like that anywhere in it. And maybe I'm just missing out on one of life's little experiences. So I could be wrong. Could be wrong. It's okay. All right, so we're going to test this out. That's why I'm holding on here. All right, so this is actually an adjustment screw. So we just want to kind of get it seated down. Oh, look at that, sliding down ever so slow. So let's see here. Let's roll it in all the way and see if we can get it to lean. I don't have a cartridge. Let me go get one. All right, so got I got another, actually 6 players today. 3 of them high end. So anyways, this one here is a cartridge off of one of them. All right, so now we got it kind of balanced off, and it has got a freaking heavy ass. Nice and slow. Isn't that great? All right, let's dial it in. Nice and slow. You see that? Oh, that's so beautiful. All right, so we used the 80,000 on that one, which seems about right. It could go a little bit slower, but I'm not going to push it. Just accept it the way it is. Let's work on the other one. Okay, so this one here is interesting in that the piston and cylinder actually have a fill gap in here, and you're going to need some really small tools to get in there. I have this Husky set that I bought for my security system, and it just happens to have the right size in it, but it's not actually an Allen. It's a Star. So, you know, use what you got, that'll work, right? Okay, so this one, I believe this is dry right now. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to remove this little itty bitty screw out of that reservoir hole. And I'm not going to fill it from the reservoir hole because pain in the ass. Excuse my language. Did I say that out loud? Okay, so it has a little key here. We're going to pop that off. Pop. Okay. And put it over in our little tray. Good deal. A little washer. Okay. A little spring. Okay. And bam, it's out. And it needs cleaned. So let's alcohol it. Very good, very good. There we are. Ooh, this one's a little bit narrower, more narrow, narrower or more narrow. I don't know. You'll have to decide. All right, there we go. Get that. Okay, so get it nice and dry. Let me make sure I can. All right, good. That's really good. Very good. There, we got it. Yay. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is close out our 80K and get out our 500K. So again, this stuff is just ridiculous. All right, we're gonna reuse this Q-tip and we're going to slop this on. Come on, buddy. Oh boy. There we go. There's some fibers in there now. That's how sticky this stuff is. I mean, this stuff is basically glue in lubricant form. I guess, is that a way to say it? All right. Okay. So, so I will admit that usually I use popsicle sticks to do this. You'll see that this thing just absolutely fell apart. Popsicle sticks to do this. I am out. Don't tell anybody I'm out of popsicle sticks. All right, so regardless, this still work. Now I'm gonna put this back in there. First, let's put a little on this side here because we can. Gosh dang. This stuff is basically, is just glue. All right, so now we have everything back in. And just for good measure, I'm going to take the dab that came through off and then put our spring back on. We're going to lower it as far as we can. And we're going to get our washer. And bam, so now our washer is on there. And then we're going to get our lock. And we're going to seat the lock, right like so. And then we are going to take our pliers and go pop. Come on, pop, pop. Do what I told you to do. Pop it. Pop it. There. Alrighty. Alright, now let's see here. When we lift it, does it slowly go down? Perfect. How about that? All right, so again, just slopping some on from above really isn't going to solve our problem. And getting it into that little service hole right there, just good luck. I don't even know how you would begin to do that. I tried, and you would have to have a syringe, but this stuff is so thick. I don't know that you could push it through a syringe. It's that thick. Okay, so the reservoir hole is shut, and there we go. It's so pretty. It works great. So this goes to a Sony. We'll put that back into the Sony now that it's been serviced, and put them back in the bag. That's it. Really, that's it. Now, where do you get this lubricant? Hobby stores. This is for suspension for remote control trucks, and you can buy some that says it's specifically for turntables, has a homemade label on it, and comes in a syringe. I will put money on somebody bought a package of syringes, made some labels, and went out and bought a big old container of this stuff, because they're selling it by like the 5 milliliter, and this thing has 60 milliliters. Imagine if you, I mean, I only paid, I think, $7.50 for this, and they're charging $10 for a little syringe of it, or maybe $5 if you're lucky, if you find somebody. But yeah, maybe if you only need that much, but good luck getting out of that syringe. All right, hope you liked the video. Give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped.